Progressive hoodie, y'all. Welcome. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, Republican of Texas, has something he wants to say. Whenever a Republican is about to speak, lower your expectations. Here's what he has to say about the coronavirus. Quote, I don't pretend to be speaking for everyone 70 plus, but I think there are lots of grandparents who would agree with me that I want my grandchildren to live in the America I did. Okay, go on. I want them to have a shot at the American dream. But right now, this virus, which all the experts say that 98% of all people will survive, is killing our country in another way. Let me guess what your concern is, what your main priority is. It could bring about a total economic collapse and potentially a collapse of our society. So I say, let's give this a few more days or weeks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, let me try it again. Let's give this pandemic a few more days. Whoa, Republicans always good for a laugh. I'm sorry. Okay, let's continue. Let's give this a few more days or weeks, but after that, let's go back to work. Let's go back to living. Those who want to shelter in place can still do so, but we can't live with this uncertainty. Just a parody of a Republican. Oh my gosh. Like, if you want to do like a Saturday Night Live version of just a standard issue Republican, you just read that quote verbatim. Like, you don't need to change anything. Like, literally, he's like, look, I know we're in the middle of a pandemic and people are getting sick and whatever else, but I mean, Walmart gotta sell stuff. The Waltons gotta make money. I'm worried about the Dow. I'm worried about the S&P 500. Like, this is what our Republicans are concerned about. So anyway, this amusing character went on Tucker Carlson's show. Let's hear what he had to say on that show.
You made clear in this letter that you sent that you're in the category of people who face real risk from this disease, and I thought that kind of put it into perspective a little. Would you explain that?
Yeah, I turned 70 next week, Tucker, and I sent you a note about a week ago that something has been really heavy on my heart since this started. And, so I'm automatically in the high risk pool. And as lieutenant governor, I work 12 or 15 hours a day, mostly from home now, but I travel when I need to. I'm living smart, listening to the president, the CDC guidelines, like all people should, but I'm not living in fear of COVID-19. What I'm living in fear of is what's happening to this country. And, Tucker, no one reached out to me and said, as a senior citizen, are you willing to take a chance on your survival in exchange for keeping the America that all America loves for your children and grandchildren? And if that's the exchange, I'm all in.
So pause it. So he said no one reached out to me to ask me if I'm okay with it. So yeah, of course we didn't. Because you don't get to personally decide for the rest of the country. You're the lieutenant governor of Texas. You're not exactly making decisions for the whole country. And that's a good thing too, judging by your asinine statements here. Also, he's saying, well, this is a risk that I'm willing to make in exchange for, for our country, keeping this the America that we all know and love. What America is he talking about, ladies and gentlemen? What America is that? One where people have to choose between losing their jobs, house, and all financial security if they get sick, or have a baby, or going to work sick and cutting short the bonding time with their child, all because we have no mandated sick pay or maternity leave? What America is it? One where the bankers on Wall Street have no consequences for their illegal actions that screw up the economy, but workers are forced out of their homes during a housing crisis? What America is he talking about? One where our Congress can't even agree on a bill to fast-track help to people who desperately need it? In this time of financial uncertainty and insecurity, all because they're too concerned with means testing or including giveaways to the rich in these bills, or how we're going to pay for it? What America is he talking about? Ones in which celebrities and politicians who are asymptomatic are getting tested for COVID-19, but people who are displaying symptoms, coughing and hacking all over the rest of us, are unable to get tested, and some of whom are still going to work and coughing all over my daggone groceries? I mean, what America is he talking about? An America in which we don't have enough masks and ventilators to deal with this ever-increasing flow of COVID-19 patients into these hospitals? And we've let go of all of our government pandemic experts because we're stupid enough to elect a childish game show host moron with a 3rd grade reading level who looks like a daggone orange pile of Play-Doh as our president? What America is he trying to preserve? One in which we don't have enough money to create a universal healthcare system that would save lives in our country, but we have enough money to manufacture bombs and weapons that will take lives in other countries? Is this the America we're afraid of changing? Is that the America that he's afraid of losing? It looks to me like we need some changes in this country, stat. And this is just the opportunity for us to make those changes. You want to put your life on the line and that of other seniors at risk for this immoral system? This dude has been slapped in the head with the money stick a few too many times. And then he goes on to say later on, I'm not trying to say that any of this makes me noble or brave. Yeah, nobody thinks you're moral, nobody thinks you're noble, and nobody thinks you're brave right now. What we think you are is stupid. Stupid, stupid. My goodness, what a stupid interview this is. Just because you want to sacrifice yourself at the great altar of capitalism doesn't mean that the rest of us want to. Many of the people at risk are not older people who have led full lives. Some of them are younger people with compromised immune systems. They have cancer, asthma, HIV. You don't get to make this kind of decision for these people and put their lives at risk. If you're tired of living and you're so in love with our capitalist system that you want to die for it, you want to hashtag die for the Dow, then go on out and lick a handrail, dag on it. You love the bank so much, go make out with a Bank of America door handle. Go touch a toilet in Bank of America and then put your hands all in your mouth. You so in love with oil and gas in this country, then go stick a gas pump up your nostrils. You love money so much, then go find a $1 bill and rub it all over your face. But you don't get to put other people's lives at risk. We're not dying for the Dow. We're not dying for your profits. We're not dying so you can get another boat. We're not dying so you can get another house. We're not dying so you can get another motorcycle. We're not dying so you can get another fancy watch. We're not dying so you can get some more Louis Vuitton luggage. We're not dying so that you can show off fancy things to your fancy friends who think they're better than everybody else. We're not dying for the S&P 500. We're not dying for the stock market to recover. That's not what's going to happen. We're not doing that. We're standing up in this country and saying no more. The priority right now should be to save lives, not get back to work. We got a president that's out there like, okay, look, that's enough of this, that's enough of this. The pandemic is not listening to that. How about you take action? You think that's enough of this? You tired of this? Then shut the country down. Mandate that everywhere we need to, that it shouldn't just be happening in certain states. Mandate that all over this country we need to go on a serious lockdown. Take some bold action. Look, I don't want martial law, and I want us to be very careful, and I understand the fear for that, for sure. This is a scary time, but we have to take drastic action if we're going to save lives. The lives that we could save could be our own, because there are some younger people that are on ventilators right now. So we just need to keep up this perspective that it's about health first and the economy second. But even when we're talking about the economy, it should be from the consumer side. It should be from the demand side. We need the help first. You need to get help to where it is needed the most. And let us, by giving us that money, doing that universal basic income package of some kind, let us stimulate the economy. You know we'll do it. But if you means test this junk up front and make it a pain in the butt to get it and just do all this weird stuff, you're just prolonging this and making this whole process harder. Just give us the money. Give the money to people so that they can keep their lights on and stay in their houses. Just get us through this crisis and get the ventilators and masks and everything else that we need to our healthcare professionals. My goodness, we can't even do that in this country? Then maybe we don't deserve to stay as a country the way that we've been. Maybe we don't need to be the society we were before. Because the society where we were before led us to this point where we're in the middle of a pandemic and we're not handling it better than almost any other country. It's supposed to be the greatest country on earth, the richest country the world has ever known. And we're not doing any better with this pandemic than most of the other developed world. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Deuces. Don't die for the Dow.